So, I'll wait for you guys to come in. This live is probably going to be short-lived tonight because I just was not prepared. I was like just really not prepared tonight. So I'll give you guys a couple minutes to come in, and then we will go from there. My hair is a mess. I haven't really done my makeup, and my background's just a little bit messed up right now. So, yeah. So I'll give you guys a couple minutes to get in here, and then we're gonna get started. Have an idea. Yeah. I'm working on getting comfy right now. It was like raining earlier.
Mommy, it stopped raining.
Okay, it stopped raining, but it was raining earlier.
Mommy, I told you it was raining.
Hey, Sharon. It was raining earlier, and yeah. So I'll give you guys, hey virtual, I'll give you guys a couple minutes to get in here, and then I'm gonna get started. I think I might start with story time because I know how much you guys like story time. Oh my goodness. I had a very interesting experience yesterday. So, I'm gonna go there. The van is doing great. Construction wise on the inside, not so great. Not so great. So, it has been incredibly hot like the past few days, and then today it decided that, oh well, the desert needs some rain, so it was downpouring earlier, but now it's just like cold and windy, and it's just like not having it. So I have a couple ideas of what I want to do, but unfortunately, sometimes the universe has better ideas than I do. And universe just randomly delivers sometimes. So I'm asking for something specific. I did, what was it? I did take a shelf out, and I did take the sink out. And I'm also trying to figure out the whole electrical aspect of what I have going on here and how I can kind of take it apart safely. But so yeah. And since the fuses have been fixed, and since I have not connected that battery to the regular battery, everything seems to be working perfectly. Like I haven't really used any of the power in the inside of the van, even though everything is hooked up and stuff like that. Like everything electrical is still hooked up, but I haven't really used it. I've been really using this big battery bank and charging it via solar. And unfortunately, today I was not able to charge that power battery bank today because it was pouring rain outside, and there is nowhere for me to charge it. when I get off of here, I'm gonna go somewhere and go charge it for a little bit. But so unfortunately, the power bank I could not charge today. So everything on the inside of the van I have not been using. None of the utilities in the inside of the van I have been using. So I do have a portable grill that I kind of use to replace because all of the propane leaked out and I have not fixed that. But then again, I really don't want to use propane anymore to I don't want to use propane anymore to cook anything or anything like that. So I'm really kind of I'm really kind of stuck right now at the moment. I haven't really done anything since I pulled the sink out. I pulled the sink out. I also pulled the other thing out, but it's, you know, it's a little bit more open in here, but it's just it's more messy in here now. Hey, Kathy. I don't blame you, okay? I do not blame you, Kathy, because after using, like, it was very handy, but at the same time, then all of a sudden it just went out and then leaked out. So I'm like, no, I don't want to do propane anymore. So I'm definitely going to switch to solar. It's just only a matter of time. However, I need a little bit more manpower. I'm going to the VA and doing my appointments with the VA right now, and I have some things happening with my body, and when I'm doing some of this stuff, I just so it has cooled off. I will say that it has cooled off. I am still out west, yes. So it has definitely cooled off a little bit out here, but just today it was rainy and nasty and just not my cup of tea. So I haven't really done much in like a few days other than pulling the sink out and pulling that other piece of thing out. The one thing that I definitely need to do, and I need to do it soon, is I have to the wiring. There's like, oh my God, there's about like this thick of wires that are underneath the van. It goes right underneath up to the other battery. The other battery that powers the rest of the inside of this van, like the lights and stuff like that. And since I disconnected that from my main battery to my van, everything has been working great. Literally, since the fuses and all of that, since all of that went down, like everything has just been working great. So I'm going to keep it that way. I'm going to keep powering and using power how I have been. So but anyway, I want to talk about yesterday because since my little events of the refrigerator and since my little events with the refrigerator and like losing all the food and stuff like that, I am shopping for a mini refrigerator. So if anybody has any ideas of a mini refrigerator, I am so open to it right now. So anyway, we have been kind of eating out a little bit over here, and it does get very expensive. However, yesterday's events was just interesting. So yesterday I took Ash to Burger King, okay? And my new favorite spot lately has been 7-Eleven because they have you can use like these points and stuff like that, and it's been so hot over here. I just absolutely love like the slushies, and just having one of those at nighttime. Definitely not good for the body, but with the swimming activities that I've been doing and staying active and stuff like that. It's really nice to have one of those at the end of the day while it's incredibly hot here. And the van's just like, the van is just not, the van is just not, it's not going to stay cool for very long. So, pretty soon we are going to be leaving this area just because the van's just not, it's not ready for this type of heat. And I've tried, I've tried to kind of make it work for a little bit. So as soon as I am done with all of my appointments and stuff like that, we are going to be leaving, and where we are going is going to be a surprise. So I will share, hey Bubsy, I will share with you where we are going as soon as I get more info as well. Where we are going next anyway. And little hint, it's going to be by water. Hint, hint. Hint, hint. Wink, wink.
Hi, Rosie.
Bubsy.
Oh, hi, Bubsy.
So it is going to be by a lot of water. So, anyways, so yesterday's events, I have to share with you all about yesterday's events. So we have been eating out a little bit more than usual because of all of the events happening inside the van and stuff like that. So we go to this Burger King, okay? And we go sit down. I'm like, I just want to sit down for a little bit. There are 3 children, the same age as Ash, inside of this Burger King by themselves, no parent supervision. They're 9 years old. They're 9 years old, and none of their parents are with them, and it's just absolute disaster. One of them got bit by a dog, a German Shepherd, apparently, and the Burger King service worker was talking to the child, trying to get some info from the child and stuff like that to try to get a hold of their parents and have their parents come pick them up, and, you know, yada, 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 yada. So I'm kind of sitting there like listening a little bit, and I'm like, I'm more worried about the dog right now. Like, and you know, a dog bite looks a lot like, you know, a dog bite is like teeth sinking in, and sometimes there's little dots and sometimes there isn't. However, your girl Aura feels very confident in her intuition a lot of times. So when I was looking at the, you know, the dog bite, it wasn't that deep, okay, but the child did need a little bit of stitches. However, where those dogs are and where they were, it's just, there's no way that it felt like the dog kind of the kid was either jumping the fence, and that's like what transpired with that, or they were just near the fence in such a way where they either had to break free very quickly. So it was just very interesting, all of those events that transpired yesterday. And I was like, as soon as the police showed up because the worker ended up calling the police, because unfortunately the child was 9 years old. He didn't know his mother's phone number, his father's phone number. He didn't know anybody's phone number. He hardly even knew where he lived. And it was just like, I was just like, what is happening here? Like, you're 9 years old, you're out by yourself, you just got bit by a dog, and you're walking into Burger King. Why? Like, why aren't you going home? Why aren't you going home? So it was very eventful. And I hung out for a little bit because I was really concerned that was just really concerned that something was going to get something was going to go against this dog, and who knows if it actually really bit the child. And for me, like, I would hate to see an animal get put down because a child lied about getting bitten by a dog for whatever reason. So I was just, I just kind of put myself in there, and that was that. So, I mean, that went on for like an hour or two, and then everybody went home. So, I mean, that was just very interesting yesterday. So I'm just, I really hope to God that that German Shepherd does not get put down for whatever reason, because I would really hate to see an animal get put down like that. I really would. Not to say that the animal didn't bite the child, but it kind of feels like the kid was someplace that he shouldn't have been, without the supervision of his parents. Did the police take the kids? So the police did show up, okay? I want to say about 2 cop cars showed up. There were 2 officers in one car, 1 officer in another car. It wasn't a pit bull, it was a German Shepherd. So there were 2 cop cars in one vehicle, and then another officer in another vehicle. And there was a guy that showed up, an officer, very, very genuine, very kind, not, I mean, it's Las Vegas, okay? It's Las Vegas. But anyway, so they showed up. The guy cop was kind of really put back by the fact that the children were unsupervised. Nobody was like watching them or paying attention, or it was just kind of like a little mess. So, and trying to do the right thing at the same time to get a hold of people's parents. It's like, no, this is probably not the first time that this has happened where they've just allowed their kids to kind of roam around. So, me, honestly, I've already told Ash in the store, because a lot of times he wanders off, and I hate that. Like, I hate that. I really do. And I've told him umpteen million times. I told him, I was like, I'm going to put a leash on you. I tell him all the time, I'm going to put a leash on you if you don't stay close to me. Okay? No, Mom, no. You're going to get a leash on you the next time we are in a store, and you're going to be embarrassed.
Mommy, stop acting so crazy.
Anyways, so that's my story for that. Do have a separate story. So it kind of brought back a lot of memories when Ash was younger and I was in the military. By the way, I am wearing one of my unit shirts right now, from where I used to work when I was in the service. But so it brought me back to a time in my early military career, enlistment, not career, enlistment, that Ash was very little. I mean, I had a really tough time with Ash when I was raising him, and I was stationed in a place that I called it home, but not really. Like, it really wasn't my home. It's not, it wasn't where I was from or anything like that. But Ash had a lot of it was a struggle. He would get put in a program, and I would constantly have teachers calling me while I'm at work while I'm messing with bombs, while I'm messing with tools, while I'm pushing a hot ass toolbox across a flight line in 116-degree weather. And I have these teachers calling me up saying, hey, you need to come get your child. You need to come pick him up right now. And, you know, I turn around and I go to my leadership, and my leadership's like, you need to fix this right now. And it's just like, I need to fix this. Like, I thought we were like a team. I thought we were like family. So, it was just very frustrating. And before leaving the West Coast and getting stationed on the East Coast, I went through a really tough time getting stationed on the East Coast, and beating a CPS case against me over Ash's challenges and struggles. So it was incredibly hard for me at that time. And I just remember my mother coming through for me while going through that, while having a hard time, while having a tough time, and there she was to rescue me. So if you have anybody who is kind of like a shoulder for you when you are going through such a hard time like that, man, totally appreciate them. Definitely appreciate them. So kids roaming loose. What we doing here? We're having story time for right now. We are having story time, and then we're gonna get into some messages. But so I just remember that time in my life, and I remember those early times when before I dived in spiritually to who I was back then. And a lot of that kind of shaped me. A lot of those experiences shaped me. I mean, even the experiences that I'm having now shaped me. And I guess I can say that I'm incredibly grateful. So, so for today's messages, I am going to be brief. I'm going to get off here in we're going to do an hour session for this live, just because look at my hair. My hair is a disaster. My hair is a disaster. I hardly have any makeup on at all. So, yeah. My cat shit on the wall. That's absolutely fantastic. Your local blonde. That is fantastic. She smeared it everywhere. Wow. She smeared it. I'm surprised she didn't smear it on your face. I'm just kidding. I'm in a mood today. So let's do some collective messages. How am I going to do this? All right. So for the theme for tonight's theme is good luck. Actually, you know what I'm going to do?
Let's go save mine.
Okay. All right. So tonight's theme, good luck. Okay. Ladybug spirit. And underneath the deck, we have magic here. The full moon has officially ended. Okay. There's a lot of energy coming to the surface when it comes to this full moon here. The full moon has brought into existence emotions. It was called the pink moon. Okay. The pink moon. So I don't know about you, but you probably have felt I want to say a little bit on edge because of this full moon. I know some of you probably have had difficulty sleeping or falling asleep. But no matter what the case is here, you have a lot of luck coming in. I feel like a lot of you are going to be receiving some type of news. Like that's like, as soon as I saw this card for tonight's theme, I felt good news, or somebody's just going to get unexpected news via message, via mail, email, whatever the case, okay? Whatever the case. So this is also a very magical time during the year as well. Magical time. Pick me, pick me. Very magical time right now as well. Magical meaning like it's kind of like universally guided, but also it's like the other thing that I'm hearing too is universally gifted, or the universe has a blessing that they wish to deliver to somebody very specifically. This is very specific to you. This is something that is meant for you. Whoa. I do want to say too, you know, there's a lot of controversy between religion and spirituality and all of that, okay? I just pulled this card. Okay? This is about not being spiritually strong. Like not about religion or following these guidelines here, or listening to what this book has to say about what I should be doing or what I should be believing in. This is about being open. This is about being open to the unknown. You can't allow for something to happen if you're restricted, or if you're not open to something, or you're not open to the unknown, or if, let's just say, you're not open in general, because that's what's going to hold you back. That is what is going to keep you in a constant cycle, or a constant karmic cycle. Wow. This is about stepping into a particular alignment, but it's what serves you. This alignment serves you more than anything else. Being in one's power. And when someone is in their power, it's kind of like you kind of just turn into one of those vibrational snobs. You turn into one of those snobs, and it's like, that doesn't serve me. That doesn't serve me. That doesn't serve me. Oh, no, I don't feel like talking right now. That doesn't serve me. So you have to be very mindful about some of these energies that come forward. They could feel incredibly drawn to you, or they could feel incredibly drawn to you for a reason. However, the reason might not be for your benefit. So that's why a lot of a lot of spiritual mentors, they turn into snobs. They turn into snobs, and it's not like it's just because it's not for their benefit. When it comes to like manifestations, and it comes to wanting something, you kind of step out of that alignment of wanting it, and you end up becoming it. So today's world is turning into I'm becoming something. So now my pronouns are he and she and it, and I'm a clown, or I'm an elephant, or I'm this, right? I've seen videos like that where people are doing that to themselves. All right. Well, if that's who you want to identify, or if that's what you want to identify, but that doesn't mean you're physically that. Anyways, patience. Patience with yourself, but patience that you can reach that alignment, that you can reach that that harmonious moment, because it's not even really about touching it. Like, it's not even about touching it or feeling it with your hands. It's about feeling it in here prior to its arrival. What does this feel like? What does your manifestation feel like? So let's just say you want your own garden. What does a garden look like? What does this garden smell like? Can you smell flowers? Can you smell plants? Is there a huge tree in this garden? And the tree signifies the spiritual growth happening. Is there flowers? What kind of flowers are going to be in this garden? Are you going to have daisies? Are you going to have red roses? And what do these red roses signify if you're going to have red roses? But what does it feel like? It smells like bliss. It smells like harmony. It smells like dreams. It smells like goals. It smells like a harmonious feeling. It feels like joy. Oh, I'm going to get into that too.
We can do some damage.
But this is where it begins. It begins when you say to yourself that I'm going to care. I'm going to care about how I feel. I'm going to care about what I'm manifesting, but I'm going to step into an alignment where it shows, where what I want and what I'm desiring is going to show up no matter what. So in the event that I'm struggling, or in the event that I'm having problems trying to find that alignment, I'm going to find myself in a place to help me get into that alignment. I'm sorry, I can't talk right now, but I'm going to find that alignment and I'll get back to you. I'm sorry, I don't feel so good right now, so I'm going to find some thoughts to make me feel good and I'll get back to you. So in the event that I'm struggling, or in the event that I struggle to find the alignment, this is where I start to care about how I feel. I start to care how I feel instead of the external. I'm more thoughtful of my internal. I'm more thoughtful of my internal being than anything else, than any other external influence happening around me. So I encourage my listeners to the homework for this week and this weekend. Find an adventure. Find yourself on an adventure. Yeah, it could be, I don't know, putting your shoes on and going for a walk outside and seeing a bird that you haven't seen before, taking its picture and researching it. Or it could be hopping in a canoe and paddling your way into that alignment. Maybe even going fishing. That's all y'all's homework this weekend. Oh boy. But no matter what, I think this has come up in the last read as well. No matter what, I encourage you all to express gratitude, because without gratitude of where you are, no movement will happen. No movement will happen. Wow. All right. Okay, Hughes, you can like seriously go away. If you don't like it, you can just leave my live. Like seriously, get out. Get out. All right. Unlock the mystery happening in your life right now, happening within you, but also welcome the unknown happening within you. You don't know where you are going, but you like where you are. You don't know what is unfolding, but you know it's working out for you. You don't know exactly what's going to happen at every moment, at any given time. But you enjoy the feeling of where you are. You enjoy the feeling of not knowing. And this is where a lot of soulful and spiritual independence can happen within you. It's not that you need people or you need energies or you need anything, because everything that you want comes to you effortlessly. It always will. But also recognize when it's time to shed the old, to leave whatever life you had, whatever past experiences you had. Maybe they were traumatic. Maybe they have changed you. But it's time to shed that skin. It's time to leave all of that in the past. It's time to leave all of that in the past. I'm sorry, Virtual. I didn't mean to hide you. I was trying to hide this Hughes person. There we go. So it's time to step into the mind over matter, all right? Or the spiritual self over matter. But leaving behind something, shedding something. A snake is always going to shed its skin. It's always shedding its skin from something, right? And humans do that. Okay, hygiene, whatever, okay? I know like we cleanse our skin and stuff like that, but in such a way spiritually, we do that. Whether it's moving, leaving something behind, leaving somebody behind, leaving an old life behind. That's where this snake spirit comes in. This gets a lot tricky. And I say this because people confuse the idea of being kind as weakness, or that you should just be kind to everybody. You should just be kind to everybody. Yes, that is the case. Because a lot of times who we are isn't that person, or isn't that energetical alignment that they want us to be. So if somebody is being nasty to you, and this is kind of what I learned yesterday when talking to that when I was talking to that worker who was helping those kids out. She was talking religiously, and you could tell she was Christian, okay, but or she believes in Christianity, but she was talking about having horrible experiences with family members, having family members treat her with such disrespect, and yet she still, allows them into her energy space. She still allows them to a particular degree, of course. I mean, not entirely. But she mentions as she believes in Jesus Christ, and she believes in that aspect of religion, she mentions how that individual spiritual master, and Jesus is a spiritual master, but she talks about how she allows him to come into her energy space. But she also mentions that it's not that I don't have to put up with it, but I don't have to surround myself with it, if that makes sense. I don't have to surround myself with this energy at this time if I don't want to. So she's still kind to these family members, but she doesn't allow their energy to take over her life or to have an effect on her, which is pretty powerful. It's pretty powerful to do. And it takes a lot of spiritual strength to do that. So I listened to her, and I listened to her saying that, and I just kind of got a little bit humble, because any person, you do something rotten to somebody, I mean, the first thing that you want to do is go get revenge. And I can honestly say a previous version of Aura liked getting back at people sometimes, okay? Really liked getting back at people. I just saw 444, so I'm gonna, and this card comes up. You have to know how spiritually protected that you are. Okay? How spiritually protected that, I mean, not just protected, but guided, being led somewhere. Man, I have to share a story time. Once again, story time, okay? And this also has to do with manifestation, okay? Did I tell you the story about getting the van fixed for the fuses? When I was getting the van fixed, I didn't want to spend a specific amount of money getting the van fixed. I had an idea of how much I wanted to spend. And I kept calling around. I even called a mechanic that I would take my SUV to and have him fix things for me. Yes. So as I was calling around, that mechanic let me down. Another mechanic let me down. But then I randomly found this other mechanic, and it's like the price was right. So angelically and spiritually protected, this means that you will not be steered off into another direction. You will not go into a direction that you don't want to go to. You don't want to enter. It's not right for you. Leave it alone. Let it be. And this even includes aligning yourself in a relationship. What kind of relationship do I want? What kind of person, or what, not even physical, but what energetically kind of person do I want to care about me, to love me, to appreciate me for who I am, not just for what I have to bring to the table? Because a lot of times we enter into these relationships, we enter into these partnerships, and they end very quickly because they don't align with who you are. They don't align with really what you're desiring. But also there's a factor in there, and there's an aspect to yourself that you need to face as well. So that's why a lot of people are getting into these relationships and then they end so quickly, and then they don't really think about it in the long run. They don't really think about what they're getting themselves into. But it also goes along the lines with them catching certain things that they know aren't right. They also catch certain, what is it? Well, everybody calls it red flags or whatever, okay? But they catch these red flags in this person and they ignore it. They ignore these beginning stages, or they ignore these things, and then later on down the line, they're paying for it. So protection also means protected on your path, protected, guided, shown the way. Okay. Wow. This card. higher vision. Man, it's so interesting that this card comes out while I'm talking about being spiritually protected. I remember when I had my very first dream with my spirit guide. And the very first dream that I had with him was right when I was leaving this area. As I was in the military, and I was transferring to another PCS location. And I didn't know who he was. Immediately, I'm sitting here thinking that he's talking to me about something else, and this and that, and it was way before I kind of really started to advance with my spiritual gifts. But at the same time, I'm sitting here thinking something else, but really he's telling me something else. So that was a very enlightening period for me. So my spirit guide is a shaman, and he has hair that goes to here, and it's black. His hair is black. He has this like huge nose, olive colored skin. His skin is dark. And in the dream, we were at my childhood home. And he had a pair of like, I want to say like tan khakis on, and he was shirtless, and he was kind of sitting there bent over with his arms like on his knees, and just kind of casually sitting there at my childhood home. But where we were sitting, I didn't really realize this at the time, but in the dream where we were sitting where I used to hear him the most, because we had a basketball hoop, and my absolute favorite thing to clear my head back then when I was little, I used to hear him the most. When I used to shoot hoops, like I used to hear him in my head. So we were sitting there, and he was talking to me about what I'm supposed to do, especially as a medium, as a spiritual mentor. And he was telling me all of these things, but he wasn't moving his lips. And I could tell that it was real because of that. He was not moving his lips at all. And it was almost like he was floating there for a moment. I was a little bit fearful when I first saw that, or when I first had that dream. And I remember talking to like one or two of my friends about that. One of them claimed to be incredibly spiritual, but also, I want to say, spiritually narcissist. But it's like that moment, those moments, when you have that memorable moment, spiritual moment, that's when you can recognize that you have a purpose. The vision gets implanted in you, within you. And all of a sudden it's just like when it stops raining outside and the clouds kind of dissipate and the sun comes out. And it's like, this is who I am. This is who I'm meant to be. This is going to be an amazing adventure for me. So when you have these crucial points in your life, write them down. When you have these special occasions, Write them down. You never know. Let's pull one last message here. Whoa. Whoa. It's okay to take a breather every once in a while. It's okay to, I don't know why, but I'm hearing like, it's okay to fail. It's okay to not know exactly what you're doing. And Aura, I'm telling you, Aura has no idea what she's doing when it comes to remodeling the inside of this van. But I can tell you what, I'm still gonna do it.
Mommy, stop whining like a baby.
I am still going to do it. So it's okay to take a breather. It's okay to not know. But it's okay to take a breather and then try again tomorrow. Because at least you could say that you tried. Or at least you could say that you did something. And then if the world ends the next day, you would feel great. You would feel great that you did something. You ended the day in such a way that it was unbelievable. You tried. You tried something that you never thought that you would try before, but you did it anyway. You didn't think that you could do it, but you did do it. Icing on the cake, men. All right, one more card. Wow. And in the process, I folded that basket of laundry. Listen, Bubsy, I have not folded laundry in months because all of our stuff is in like these tubs and stuff, and I just toss it in there. I don't fold it. I'm just like, I'm gonna wear it anyway. I'm gonna pull it out and I'm gonna wear it anyway. But at least you have like a drawer to put it in, right? And in the process, we find ourselves laughing with joy. Laughing to heal the soul. Not to understand yourself, but to let loose. To let yourself roam freely. Let your soul roam freely. It's time to come out and play. All right, you guys. I'm cutting it a little bit short this evening just because my battery is dead. My backup battery is dead. Have a little bit of work to do on my computer, and I need to charge my battery as well. So
And what about my tablet?
I charged your tablet some.
Oh.
So anyways, you guys, tonight's live, I am cutting it a little bit short. So I hope you guys enjoyed some of these messages. I don't know if it helped anybody, or like every week I have to say this. I don't know if any of what I say helps, or, you know, I don't even know. Like, I hardly even know if it helps at all. So I'm just like, going with the flow. So anyways, the next spot that we're going to is going to be a surprise. a bit of a surprise. So I will give you guys some more info as soon as I know. And I do have some ideas for cases that I'm going to record as well. There's actually a couple that I'm feeling incredibly drawn to. I will record those and I will be posting those up as well. If anybody has any suggestions on cases that I should be doing, it helps more than you will ever know, girl. Truly, thankfully, I appreciate you. Oh, thanks, Bubsy.
Hi, Bubsy.
So anyways, you guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. I love every single one of you. My battery is dying. I will see you guys all next week. I promise that my hair will look a little bit better than it does right now. So I love you guys. I'll see you guys next week. I hope you guys enjoyed these messages. Until next time, it's your girl Aura. Take care. Bye for now.
Aww.